but I'll say indeed. And greetings unto you, beloved and holy friend. Thank you for joining me here again, another day, another moment, another opportunity for us to say, I love you. I love you. You are loved. Every single person that comes into the stream today, I'm going to say I love you before I read your comment. Every single one of you. Technically, I already have like half a joint rolled. Man, I'm feeling something. So with the power not working today, unfortunately, I won't be able to do my sangha. I've been starting to like try, if you will, to create new, different, opportunities of creation. Let's call it that. And one of them is something that was provided or co-collaborated, imagined together with Ryan, and it's the sangha. It's a community get together where instead of doing this one way, we can actually back and forth. Like you have a camera on you as well, and we contemplate for a moment, and then after the contemplation, we have a few conversations. And we've only done 3 of them up to this point, and today's would have been the 4th. And now that the power isn't going to work, like there is a certain sense of feeling in me. Acceptance. Yes, that's it. Acceptance. Acceptance. Do you accept, Kira Burr, Kristen, that I love you, friend? Do you accept? I was thinking about you specifically during my yoga session today, where I was like, I hope Kira Burb joins us today. You are so loved, Kira Burb. I love you, friend. Thank you so much for joining me, for accepting me, for accepting yourself, for accepting life as it is right now, for being present with it, for still choosing love regardless. I thank you for that. Thank you so much, Kira Burb. They're Phyllis. Oh, pleasure. A genuine, like heartfelt pleasure having you here. I hope everyone's well today. May we all have the love, patience, wisdom, and motivation to grow and enjoy another wholesome experience together in this space. I hope you all achieve our daily goals, and I send love to you all. Pillars, what a beautiful thing that is to say, to put onto the world, right? Like I've held for a while now this idea, this understanding that we can't understand, we can't know ourselves, we can't know each other fully, but we can know where the fractal goes, if that makes any sense, right? So by you choosing to say something, you are showing me where your fractal goes. And out of all of the things you could have said, Terpillis, you chose to say things that are loving. You chose to say things that make me feel uplifted. It gives me hope in humanity. And I love you for that, Terpillis. I love you, friend. Shannon! I love you, Shannon. Like, interestingly enough, today's title was inspired by Jovan again. Like it's something that Jovan said to me maybe 9 months ago at this point, but I felt it was important to remember it again. Normalize saying I love you. Normalize saying I love you. I love you, Shannon. Thank you, friend, for saying hi to our friend and for Christian. I think he's in the other room. I can't type it. I can type it real good. Love you, friends. Love you, Jovan. Thank you so much for joining me. Mm, I do need this battery today. Thanks, brother bear. Brother dear. Thank you, sunshine sister. Shannon, sunshine sister. I appreciate your love so much, my friend. Like genuinely, if it wasn't for you, friends, nothing like this wouldn't be, right? It really would not be. And I'm tripping out about it. I'm tripping a little bit out about it. It's a whole emotional trip that I'm a part of. And yet, acceptance is the only thing that I can do. Acceptance and gratitude. Acceptance and gratitude. Acceptance and gratitude. Being grateful for what you've accepted, accepting the things you're grateful for. And you, friends, right now in this moment, as the very thing that I'm grateful for. I'm straight up having a hard time articulating, even thinking about it. Maxine, what a pleasure. Thank you for joining me, even on the. So much love to you. Love you, dear sister. Just stopping by to boop everyone. Thank you, Sovina, for the boop. I love you, Sovina. I love you, friend. You are infinitely loved. More love than I can actually articulate. You know, and the way that I think about it is from this perspective of just existing. The fact that we are just existing as a sign that we are loved, that we're supported. Being able to breathe air right now. And even though I have air to breathe, I'm still doing things to my air as I breathe it. Right? And these things, like even marijuana in itself, came from Earth as well. You know, I've been dreaming a lot, so much. And every single time I dream things, I find myself in conversation, in I don't want to say even I don't think it's argument. It's more contemplation, back and forth contemplation of a topic. You know, with you friends, where I find myself in these dream states where I'm being posed ethical, moral, conceptual questions, and then we discuss it, right? But it's so odd because for some reason I feel like the questions we're discussing don't apply, or maybe not apply is the right word. They don't. They're not compatible with our reality. Not the lessons, but the way that the lesson is taught. It's kind of odd. It's a trip of when I'm in the dream state, I know exactly what's going on. You know, I understand that we're posing a question and then we're articulating this question and we're asking each other more about this question. But as soon as I wake up, as soon as I find myself in the waking realm again, I understand and I remember that there was something learned, there was something gained in the dream state, but I don't know what it is. I don't know what the context of the information is that I explored. And I had another moment like that today again, where as I was waking up, we had 3 friends over last night. So I woke up and I started sending you friends some messages. I'm doing a little bit of a bad job keeping up to all of them at this point, with all of the other energies. But woke up, started sending messages, and this friend walked into the room. And as soon as he walked into the room, I remembered that I was dreaming things. And I shared with him that I've been dreaming these weird moral dilemmas to the point where I feel the way that I wake up in the morning almost like I could choose to bring good energy or bad energy into the world from that state of place. And depending on how hard I work in that dream state, when it comes to like the emotional aspect of it, the easier or more difficult it can be to bring back good stuff. I don't know if this makes any sense. Have you noticed this with your dreams? Where you have the ability to bring back information. Like I'm thinking of it from this perspective of not only am I doing conscious work in my day-to-day life, but when I go to sleep and I find myself in wherever I am in my dream realm, that we're doing work on that side as well. Oh no, did the stream stop? I do not hope so. Maxine, I really do not hope so. Like, do let me know if it's stopped. I believe the YouTube should be live. Yes, I think so. It's still clicking on Terpillars. Yeah, it did in fact end. Thank you, Maxine, for being precognizant. I usually don't remember my dreams. I know that I did the 90%. I don't, but I had one the other morning, and I actually remember some of it. Was it a good dream? Was it a good dream, Shannon? Was it something that you would like to remember? Because I feel like that's the trip. That's so freaking cool. Yeah, that literally dude with fingers and taut strings making those sounds. What? Sick. That's. Oh man, I haven't saved my title. I love you. Sickety doo dah. Let's see. Guess who's back, Reddit? Not that easily defeated. Not that easily shut down. Why am I feeling so odd? The thing that I last posed was the fact that I would like to remember my dreams as well. You know, I feel if I was dreaming nightmarish dreams, and which I sometimes do, right? Then I wouldn't want to remember. But the fact that I think that the dreams I'm dreaming are valuable, and I'd actually like to keep the information that I gain there, is mildly concerning. And then at the same time, there's this understanding in me that it's happening in the subconscious, in the unconscious. And we had this conversation amongst us friends yesterday as well, where the unconscious part of you, friend, is literally everything. Because you are in this moment conscious, right? You look down and you see hands. You reach out for things and you can give yourself some water. You are conscious of these experiences. And then there are all the experiences that you're not conscious of, which is everything else. And I feel that everything else somehow is encapsulated in our dream state. And maybe that's why we can't bring back that much information, because it's literally everything else. I'd say it was, though I don't know what to make of it. What to make of dreams. Like, for me, right now, the thing that I'm pondering, especially Shannon, is that if I'm learning lessons in my dream state, do I continue to have access to those lessons in a way where you have access to lessons or to information that you've learned in this life, right? Like you learn, you do certain things, you experience certain things, and because of that, you gain a certain set of skills. But then you might not do that skill again for X amount of time, and you find yourself in an environment where that skill is necessary of you, and then in that moment, you still have the ability to use said skill. So to imagine articulate skills, like the way that I thought about it was almost like these moral quandaries, like dilemmas being faced to me. Like there was some sort of alien species out there somewhere in the universe. Every single time I go to sleep, I'm portaled into like some sort of think tank, and then inside said think tank, we just spend like time thinking about things morally, considering. And then at the same time, even upon saying those words, I feel like that's kind of naive. You know, what makes me think that there would be any moral issues outside of humanity? Maybe we're the only ones struggling with morality. Maybe it's very simple to other alien species. Hmm. Thank you, Kira Burr, for joining me here again. It's nice to have you, friend. Whew, things are gonna change. Things are definitely gonna change, and I look forward to seeing how we as a community, stick together through this. Like it's a little bit brutal. I got to tune into Cable Stream today a little bit. Acceptance and gratitude. Those are two powerful forces to be reckoned with. Maybe I'm in this contemplative state because of the yoga we did today. Like I'm feeling stuck in my own head right now, genuinely. I felt odd the rest of the day, and I had a cry. I don't know why though. Hmm. You see, now you're starting to press more buttons of the things I'm thinking about right now. Is that we can be influenced emotionally for the whole day after having a certain set of dreams to the point where we'll find ourselves crying in an emotional level, not having a stimulus in the outer world to elicit this emotional response, and yet having dreamt things, having experienced a dream world that still bleeds over into our waking consciousness, that influences us to start crying, for example. That huge joint looks nice, bro. Thank you. I didn't think it's that big. Technically, I didn't even fill it up to the top because we ran out of wheat, but I appreciate you joining me eat red meat. Goodness. What a pleasure. Like, I've been thinking about you, friends. I love you, by the way, Eat Red Meat. I'm on day 17, weed free. Congratulations, my friend. Oh, I mean, day 17 to like 21 is like the last stretch, dude. You're basically out of it. How's it been? How have you felt? I feel a part of me, I'm starting to fast, like actually food fast tomorrow. And like a part of me was considering like fasting, marijuana as well, but we'll see. It's difficult enough not eating food. Eat red meat. Again, I love you, eat red meat. I love you, Kira Burb. I love you, infamous sock. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to see you and for me to tell you that I love you. Today's whole stream is about I love you, about normalizing saying I love you, about being willing to say I love you to someone without this attachment to what that is supposed to mean, to this attachment to what sexuality is, this attachment to expectation. When you say these words, to just be able to say I love you to a person from this perspective that you realize that the same consciousness that you are, they are, and that you can love that part of yourself in yourself just as much as you can love it in someone else. So I love you, Maxine. I love you, Uncle Becky. Goodness, I love you, Brandon. I love you so much, my brother Bear. Thank you for joining me here. My dream world feels more like a premonition land. It's unsettling, but I would harness it instead of being upset. I feel that as well, weirdly enough, Kira Burb. But in that sense of premonition, it's like it's preparing me by asking me difficult questions, such difficult questions, where I legit have to spend time. It like okay, I don't know how to explain this without sounding insane, but like in these dream states, it's almost like time doesn't really exist, where you're kind of like disembodied, right? So being disembodied literally means that you don't experience time. The reason I think, at least, why we experience time in the linear fashion as we do is because we age and our bodies eventually give up, right? So we have this sense of time. But in the dream state, you rarely have an aging body, right? Like you can sometimes feel slow. And again, I feel that is because of inertia. The way that you move in this reality is very immediate, right? But the way that you can move in energy fields might be a little bit more wonky. I'm not saying this is the way it is, but that's just the way that I'm imagining it in this moment. So like in these dream states, I'll be posed these questions, and then like there would be like me and this person facing one another. And then we're like looking at each other, but the environments we're seeing is ever shifting. It's like time is passing outside of that exchange, and I spend like billions of years, like planets get formed and destroyed and creatures arise on them and die, and I'm still pondering this question. Good one. Just like thousands of different things, live and die in the scape of that question. Maybe that question could have helped those things that have lived and died, and yet it still took me time to answer the question properly. So in that way, it's kind of weird. Maybe that's why I can't properly remember what the questions were as well. Mm. Ermius Plur. God will uplift. And God is it's a loaded word. So you can say source, you can say I, you can say the universe, you can say consciousness. Will uplift peace, love, unity, and respect. You friends have shown me that more than ever. Thank you. What do you know? Do you know what dream traveling is? I can't say that I do, Miss Molly, but I can say I love you. Thank you for joining me. Dream traveling. Dream traveling. I mean, I feel dream traveling is just the base state almost, right? I do travel somewhere if I'm dreaming. Or if I find myself in environments I already have been in while not being in them. Like I had a whole dream about being back on the farm and one of our dogs, like I see a bird flying down to the ground, and then Pippi biting the bird, like biting onto the bird, and then me prying Pippi's beak, mouth open to get the bird out of it, and then putting the bird in the branches, and just experiencing that, like again with these dreams, almost creating these moral right? Like creating these scenarios, these situations in which I have to make a decision, and based on the decision I make, yes or no's, light or darkness gets expressed, if you will. And then I had this again, I shared this a little bit earlier, but this revelation this morning that you can choose to bring that light into this world, or that darkness into this world. Like that place is so vast. The dreamscape is so vast that you can bring everything from there. It's gone well. I did a 56-hour fast, just ate dinner last night. And how did that feel, friend? Like fasting to me has been one of the greatest like tools for self-reflection. Especially when it comes to realizing like maybe it's a conceptual trip to me more than a like anything else. It's to me this understanding that right now, if I'm fasted, in that moment, my body and my consciousness and my thoughts and my movements is literally not being powered by any external source other than the very fuel that my body has stored for that moment. Tomorrow we're starting a fast. Tomorrow we're starting a fast. I want to go for 7 days, so we'll break the fast on Monday of next week. I love you too, Natalie. Thank you for joining me now to a mirror. Please go and tell yourself I love you too. I would appreciate that. Jovan says the dream state is a place where our minds can dance without the parameters or consequences of the laws in our physical world. Very interesting that you mention consequences. Consequences. Like I had this whole chat with the homies last night, Jovan, about even though I know it makes me sound kind of like a boomer, that video games as it is right now really allow you so much freedom without any consequences. And if you're a kid growing up in an apartment in the middle of the city, playing these games most of your child, life, and then trying to reintegrate into society, how much of that is actually going to come with you? And it's not this perspective of games are bad, but more this perspective of what does not having consequences do to the human mind? And in the context of what you just shared with me, Jovan, how is it that we can literally generate a world, a dream state where we do not have consequences, where we can make mistakes and not die for them, right? There's like a bunch of theories about why it is we dream. One of the theories that I like the most is the one that prescribes dreaming to a state in which your mind and your brain kind of creates scenarios in which you have to try and defend yourself, problem solve. And then if you find yourself in a scenario like that in reality, you have already gone at least through a rudimentary experience like that. So you're not going with no information whatsoever. And I do like that understanding of dreaming. But then there's like other understandings of dreaming as well that goes into the more esoteric of consciousness, like the fact that you're in this dream state and you're experiencing yourself as a state of consciousness in said dream state, right? Like you're not instantly in the dream and be like, oh goodness, okay, good, it's dreaming time. Now we can do all of this. No, it's very much, oh, here I am now in this environment, with this story, with these people around me. This is what's going on. And the fact that it can be so realistic to the point where it's indistinguishable from our current reality. I mean, there are things that are wonky. Weirdly enough, time. Time is one of them. You can look at clocks and they won't tell time properly. You can have extra fingers, which is also something that fascinates me because the weird things that happen to us in the dream state, if it was purely, if it was exclusively, maybe should be the right word, only to practice waking consciousness or be prepared for waking consciousness, why does it get things of waking consciousness wrong? Like linear time, like having five fingers on a hand. You know, and to me, it instantly goes back to this perspective of time and body as well as an illusion, and consciousness is the one experiencing this experience, right? So you have experienced consciousnesses in which your planet goes around your home star at a fraction of the speed that Earth does. So time gets measured completely differently. The way that you think of time gets measured completely differently. The way that you think of yourself, you know, as an aging being, changes completely as well. And then alongside that, you look down at your hands, and for some reason in your planet, you evolve to have four fingers or six. You know, maybe you have tentacle arms. The dream state can be quite surreal in that way, where it almost gives things away if you pay enough attention. Shows you that you have power within consciousness to the point where you know you have that power within consciousness. And as soon as you realize that you are in that consciousness, you become empowered to the point where we can do stuff like lucid dreaming, for example. Isn't that wild? It's one of the craziest things to me. I was going to send you a message about it, but I didn't. I think I will today, though. Please do, Shannon. I would love to hear my friend. Thank you for welcoming my friend as well. Christian! She wakker. Lekker geslapen, Christian. Lekker geslapen. Lekker geslapen. Huh?
You want coffee?
I already had some coffee at home, so if I drink more, I might just explode. So no, thank you. Not for now. I'm talking about normalizing. I say love. Normalizing. I love you. Saying I love you. So I love you, Christian. I love you, Christian.
Is the kettle before?
I love you, Christian. I love you. I love you, Christian. The kettle is just boiling water right now. I'm just hyper aware of it, so it seems you are as well. You just came from silence, and now you're listening quite literally to
Sounds like it's boiling.
molecules vibrating. Meet more wobbly bubbly. Wobble bubbles. Wobby bubbies. Gobbly goo. Thank you for joining us. I love you, Gob. I love you so much. Thank you for joining me. Maxine says, I've had a premonition since child. The dream world is sacred. I've had premonitions since child. I think so as well. What do you think about the dream world, Christian?
Hidden harsh, haunting forest, secret silent sunlit seas, laughing, taunting, hurtful chorus,
Clean it
endless
first.
adventure for me to seize. Wish for truth, dreams unreal, desires of the supernatural and impossible, the need to hear, see, taste, and feel that which in dreams is unforgettable. Boundless, sarcastic, ironic, a world of utter unpredictability, fear, courage, hate, love, nothingness, and infinity. Short-lived, sudden perfections, unwanted visions of terror, a gateway of risk to anything, falling into the chaos of everything, death in life and life in dreams. Unsated curiosity parched by reality, laugh, sobs, snickers, screams, step into the will of abnormality.
I wish that people could actually hear that. That I could hear it. I feel like I could hear it, but in the same way with the dream state, you can experience it, but it's hard to retain it. Why is that, Christian?
It's hard to retain it. It's so hard. Some things you weren't meant to remember as a mortal being.
My interpretation was exactly that, dude. That the amount of power we have as a disembodied consciousness in that state. Did you just add the sugar to that jar without cleaning it?
What was it?
Mold. So much mold. Oh. I didn't even know coffee could mold.
That's okay. It's like right at the bottom. It'll be fine.
That would be. But I did tell you to clean it. I just think I might have.
No, you actually.
I did. Oh.
Bro, no, you didn't.
Someone clipped me right now. uh, thank you. I heard it. There we go. You hear that? Natalie said she heard it, dude.
Natalie Portman.
Mold makes penicillin. That is true. That is true. Like I don't know what it was, but there was like a small bit of grains at the like coffee grains at the bottom of the jar, and there was like this white little fuzz growing on it, and I was like, huh. I didn't know anything could actually use coffee granules as like an energy source, but nature finds a way. Nature does find a way. Losing the last 10 pounds right now and clearing my head, feeling the feeling I've been, feeling the feelings I've been avoiding. Mm. How's that, dude? Christian keeps avoiding the feelings he shouldn't be avoiding.
I have no feelings to avoid.
Oh, here, he has no feelings to avoid. Trips out about the same shit. Kom sit hier langs my, Christian.
Happy Sunday
It's nice to have you
to
friends
everyone
here.
out there. Hope you all are
Maxine said,
feeling rested. Huh?
sorry, you were still talking. Maxine said that she's had premonitions as a child and she thinks that the dream world is something that's sacred. Do you feel the dream world is something that's sacred or evolutionary?
I think a lot of humanity's progress is owed to dreams. Sometimes we even solve major problems in our dreams. Like I know I do that with programming. I know my dad does that with programming sometimes, where you like go to sleep with a problem in his head and then you'll just solve it in his dream state.
So that's basically what I shared at the start of the stream, Holmes, where I feel my dreams have been very much these moral quandaries that get posed to me, where I have to think about things. Back in her coma, by her son in the dream world. Yes, Natalie, that's trippy. It is a sacred. It is sacred to her culture. So I was like, that was the first thing that I was thinking about as well, Natalie. Like when Christy had mentioned that we have made a lot of progress because of our dreams, I thought about like these shamanic cultures and like the rainforest that have like these DMT ceremonies. Not only do they talk about their DMT experiences, but they talk with the same amount of enthusiasm about their dreams.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's better.
They talk with the same amount of enthusiasm about their dreams, where they believe the dreams are just as significant. But I think if we could remember all of our dreams, it would be too much information to handle. We are not to want for those we lost to death. It could trap them and prevent their spirits from making the journey. Very trippy. I mean, I don't know about directly trapping their spirits, and I'm not gonna say that you're wrong on that. But the way that I've thought about it is almost similar in the way where I think of holding on to someone as they're dying, in a way where you're like manic and you don't want them to leave by any means. You're being selfish, right? Because this person could have a better existence, a more peaceful existence on the other side, and you being so selfish that you want that person in your life regardless, ceaseless of what it might mean to that person, is a very selfish act. So this understanding that you're sharing, that you might even trap their spirits by holding on to them,
Like
is a whole
Sean
tripping.
Connery.
That is the feeling, yes. I
If
feel
I
you,
could
Natalie.
have held on to Sean Connery.
Sean Connery. I don't, unfortunately, don't know who Sean Connery is.
Come back!
I would have held on to Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger was depressed though, with everything, with the abundance, with the career, with the opportunity. Still, we have a hard time finding hope sometimes, man.
It is what it is.
It is what it is, but it could be more. Thank you, Joel, for the love, friend. I appreciate that so much. And Eat Red Meat, thank you, friend, for doing that for yourself. Shanna! So nice to have you. I love you. I love you, Shanna. So every single person, I made this dedication, every single person's name I see, I'm going to tell them, I love you. We're normalizing I love you today, Christian. You may visit them in the dark, in the dream world, but you should not try to hold them to the physical. Absolutely not. I've never tried to visit people in the dream world. Have you tried to visit people? I mean, people come and visit you in the dream world, Christian. But do you try it? Like maybe that's what you're doing, huh? Like me and Christian have had a lot of chats about the dreams he gets up to. And sometimes it can feel torturous, but maybe it's just you giving yourself that, dude.
It's me indulging the small piece that actually does astrally travel, where I don't have conscious control over it, at least not as this ego known as Chris. Um, Dreams can sometimes test you. Can test you to see if you're ready for a situation. Can test you to see if you're over something. I mean, I feel like that's why I sometimes have very torturous dreams. That's why, like, after I break up, I'll dream about my ex over and over and over and over again for probably a year or so.
That's so trippy because I haven't, I've to this day only dreamt like twice about my exes.
That's mad.
Yeah.
Good for you. That's how it should be. don't
Don't model me.
don't model me. Please don't model me. But I also feel like it was a constant test. Like, okay, tonight are we over it? No.
No.
Next night are we over it?
No.
Next night are we over it? Yo, still not.
That's
Shit.
hard. Oh, you see.
Until eventually you're like, you know what? I don't even care if I dream about this anymore. It's like straight up, honestly, it's
And then-
happening every night. It's like clockwork. And then you get over it.
Once you accept, that's what's written on that joint, dude.
And then you stop dreaming about it.
Accept and gratitude. Christian, I love you. Thank you, Shannon.
I love you,
Thank you,
Natalie.
Natalie. I appreciate that so much. Thank you so much. Like the ability to just say I love you to someone, right? Everyone in chat, I love you. Natalie loves you, friend. A person out there in the world just said I love you. You. And the fact that you're in the vicinity to have these words hit your eardrums means that yes, in fact, you are the one that's loved, friend. You, right now in this moment. Losing the last. Thank you again for the love. Love you, Mel. We are all each other's reflections. That we are. And I am tripping out and seeing how beautiful I am and seeing how beautiful you are. Thank you for showing me such a beautiful reflection, my friend. I love you all. I love all you guys too. Love you, Eat Red Meat. Thank you, friend. Infamous Song. I prefer my dreams over reality. They're much more alive. I mean, my dreams are like a weird, conscious, stable state in between communication, while the rest of the world is like.
I feel like in dreams you get to really practice sympathy. I wouldn't call it empathy, but like the purest form of sympathy that you can come up with, because your mind tries to create as unbiased a scenario that is as close to reality as your mind is capable of formulating. And then it puts you in that position and sees what you would do, you know?
Yeah.
It's your own brain communicating with itself and testing itself. Like, all right, let's do a trial run. See how that goes. It's like, oh fuck, no, you fucked that up.
Don't do
Badly.
it like
We're not
that.
doing that in real life. It shows how we would actually feel about it. Oof. Yossi Bobassi.
So she almost like echoed or added another layer to what you just said, Christian. It's trippy, dude. And yo, it's so trippy because I also believe that when we're in the dream state, we're in a timeless state.
To build on from that, though, it will never be as the real thing. The dream will never be the same as the real thing.
I agree, but and I shared this a little bit earlier on the stream. Why is it in dream states, if you really want to know if you're lucid dreaming, you can look at clocks, or you can try and read books, you can try and count your fingers. Like more than often, you have more fingers than you're supposed to, or the clock doesn't work the way it's supposed to, or you can't read books, or every single time you try and read, there's something different written.
I think I've lucid dreamed once. where like I got up in my bed, but everything had a green sort of hue to it. Everything was green colored. It was like I was looking through night vision goggles, you
Okay.
know? And I was looking around and be like, this can't be real.
This can't be real. Something's wrong.
This cannot be real. So I like lied back down, and then I actually woke up in real reality, and I'm like, brain, never do that again without my permission. All right.
So I had something very similar, but I was also in my bedroom, kind of like in this experience of like, oh, I'm awake, right? And I kind of sat up into my environment, and I was like looking out in my room, and then I wanted to kind of move, and I was like stuck, and I was like, oh, I'm dreaming, and then I woke up from the dream, and I was like sitting there again, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm awake, and then I tried to put my legs down on the ground, and then it was
And
stuck
it
again.
happens again.
And I was like, oh, I like instantly this sense of terror sets into my body. I'm like, no, 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 and then I start screaming, and I can hear my waking body scream in reality, dude. And I can hear that, I can feel like the feeling of my chest, and I'm like, oh, I'm doing this to myself. And as soon as I had that, boom, it like I like released it, dude. It was like this acknowledgement that this is a loop that I've now put myself into,
Oof.
and in the same way, I can take myself out of it. It had to take some conscious effort, dude. But dreams, though, it teaches you things.
For me, it's the recurring brush your teeth in the morning dream.
Okay.
Where it's like you get up and you go to the bathroom and you brush your teeth, and then you wake up in bed. And you get up and you walk to the bathroom to brush your teeth, and you wake up in bed. You get up, walk to the bathroom, brush your teeth, do something else, still wake up. Get up in bed. I'm like, there's a point where I'm like, all right, dude, this is
Something
a
needs to
cycle.
stop. Yeah.
This is a cycle.
What do you call it? Groundhog Day? Got Groundhog Day, dude.
Bro, it's your brain so desperate being like, I'll just convince myself that I am getting up to brush my teeth instead of actually
I
getting up.
mean, I don't know if it's the exact same thing, but on that note, like I would have like a certain track, like a vibey track that plays, to wake me up. And then as I would like get close to the morning hours, suddenly my dreams would take on this like dancey vibe where I would just be like grooving to beats in my dream state and everything hops along with it. And that's my brain, instead of waking me up with the alarm that's blasting next to me, integrating the alarm into my dreams. And it's like, yeah, this is normal. You stay right there. Just you keep sleeping. To the point where my mom had to come and kick me out of bed, dude. It was kind of crazy. It was kind of fun though. It was like a whole adventure every single time.
Laziness is a terrible disease we all fight with.
I mean, Marcus Aurelius dude, had a hard time getting out of bed sometimes.
I don't blame them.
Right? Like it's been a normal thing about our humanity this whole time. I remember being late to school because I dreamt that I'd gotten ready and laid back down and woke up. When it was time to leave, it wasn't ready. I think I've done the same thing actually, Jovan. For me, it was in the hostel where I also convinced myself that I was ready. And I technically I was ready, I was dressed, but I was supposed to be ready and then my room was supposed to be inspected to make sure it's clean. And then we had lunch or breakfast technically. And after having my room inspected, I kind of chilled out for a second. And then this lunch, breakfast completely.
I need to make a phone call.
You need to make a phone call? We're gonna call dad?
My
Sister?
sister.
Cool, cool. Mm. Dreaming about school is also such an experience. Fortunately, that doesn't happen that much to me, but every single time it does, it's a very unpleasant experience. Again, Natalie, since you're here as well, I love you too, my friend. I prefer my dreams of reality. Elephant goo. I'm very concerned about what elephant goo is. Now, everyone, say it to the mirror, please. Go to the mirror and just tell yourself, I love you. We didn't realize we have that much power just to say things to ourselves as well. I love you, Natalie. Thank you so much. Here's one you gave me, Melt, and I hold it dearly. We're here for three reasons: to love, to serve, and to remember. Thank you. How beautiful that you remember that, Eat Red Meat. Thank you for reminding me as well. Yeah, we're here for three reasons: to love, to serve, and to remember. And we're actively doing that, friends. right now in this moment. We wouldn't be here if we weren't living by those three rules in our life. And the fact that we get to share this, the fact that we get to connect, even for a moment, right? Like my dedication, at least on a conceptual level, is to at least show up for an hour a day. For you friends, for this space, for what it is we can share with one another, to touch base, to realize that there are other conscious, loving, present beings in the universe, and then to be able to go back into the world with a sense of understanding that we're not alone. We're not alone. There's more people fighting for the truth we believe in. And that if we can continue seeing that in ourselves, the fact that you friends have continued showing me that, that's the whole thing that I was talking about at the start of the stream. How it trips me out. Like I feel I feel like it's almost too much for me to process. Like not only do I know the vastness of my experience of the good I'm trying to do in the world, the friendships I have, my family, what my family must be thinking of me, my loving relationships, my fleeting relationships, right? Like even the smiles, like so, oh goodness, I have to share this. Today we went to the store again and they removed the regulations for like face masks in South Africa. So I didn't know this just yet. And I get out of the car and I start wrapping my face with my scarf to like put my mask on. And I start walking with my mask on my face and I look and I see multiple people walking past me without masks on their faces. And the first thing that comes to my mind is I can see people's faces. And my mind is like, wait. And I look over to Tristan and I'm like, we don't have to wear masks. He's like, nope. And they drop the regulation. And I pull the mask off and I walk into that, shopping mall with a sense of pride in my heart that I can see people's faces. And I see the person that has been greeting us and like rinsing our hands down with hand sanitizer every single time we went there. And I bless him. I have this moment of just smiling and just being grateful for the fact that I can now see people's faces again. And yes, just that. The fact that we can touch people's lives by not even getting close to touching one another. Right? Like you can have an impact just by existing, friend. You do have an impact just by existing. That you cannot not have impact. You can believe in that part of yourself with a sense of pride that you matter so much, so much. Every single one of your actions will change the world. All you have to do is choose how you want to change the world because you will. You just have to choose how you want to. I had a dream about feeding you chicken pot pie in the massage. Mm, chicken pot pie. Sounds like a straight vibe right now. I love you, friends. I love you, Jovan. Thank you. I need to fast. I'm plump. It's good for us. Leech. It's really good for us. And in moderation. That's the thing as well you have to remind yourself of. I feel fasting to me is easier than dieting, but that is definitely because I'm extreme. I guess that's the way you say it. Right. Oh, excessive eating in the extreme? Sure, I can do that. Absolutely no consumption of food whatsoever. Sure, I can do that. I'm way too irritable and tired if I fast too long. 3 days, 3 to 4 days is what we know has the most health benefits. And even if you do it only like once a year, doing it once a year gives your body a chance to autophagize, spend proteins, actually dedicates more of its resources to proper duplication of cells instead of just kind of haphazardly pumping them out as it gets resources. So like it really is something that in my mind is almost like a reset button that I press on myself by just not eating food and eating myself instead. What Birdbot said, I love you all. I love you. I love you, Kristen. Fasting has fantastic health benefits. I try to do 16 hours no food and 8 hours with 2 meals. It's the warrior split. I do believe it's called, Maxine. Wonderful for you, right? Like one of the biggest benefits to fasting isn't even just not having food in your system or like losing weight in that case, right? Like with not having food in your system, but it's the fact that you have this gut lining. You have this slimy membrane between gut and the food that's passing through it. And I know this might be gross, but it's fascinating to me. And this gut lining has these enzymes and these little organisms in it that basically shuttle the food from the inside to the gut lining, and in doing so digests and processes and creates a certain sense of chemical changes in that food as well, which is fascinating to me. And then when you fast, you actually give that gut lining an opportunity to repair itself, because without that gut lining you would literally die. You would die from the food you eat. So by eating food continually, this gut lining has to be continually supporting your body, and by fasting, you're actually giving this gut lining an opportunity to heal itself. Just the explanation, so much from just not having a gallbladder. I also don't have a gall. Is the gallbladder right? No? Is it? Appendix. I don't have an appendix. Yeah, sorry.
I hope you have a goal.
I do have a gallbladder, just not having. From just not having a gallbladder. You don't have a gallbladder, Natalie? A gall has the bile of your body in it, right?
Something like that.
Something like that. The human body, you are a piece of extremely high technology, to the point where it baffles my mind even remotely thinking of it. Like, we don't even consider just our different, klira. What do you call klira in English? Uh,
Notes?
Nymphs? Right, like your thyroid.
Glands?
Yeah, your glands, klira. Just your glands. You have glands all over your body, and every single one of them produce a slew of chemicals. Like, literally consciously, or well, not consciously, constantly affecting your entire biology, dude, keeping you in balance. Your body. Supporting you, keeping you alive. Lymph nodes and glands. Those are the ones. Thank you, Natalie, for helping me as well, friend. I had it removed when I was 20. Holds the bile produced by the liver while awaiting digestion. Glands are everywhere. They are everywhere. Like,
You
I
can
mean,
remove your goal.
that's what I'm tripping out about as well right now. I mean,
news to me
Natalie
right now,
is
man.
here right now in this moment, so clearly,
What the
yes.
fuck?
Clearly, yes, you can. Natalie, the more we know. Thank you for telling us, friend. A lot of family members of mine have had their gallbladders. More people, Christian.
Hypo.
Even more people with low
Hypo.
gallbladders. He's gonna Google it. He's like, no, I don't believe. I need the realest information. When the human hungry aliens come, they will be drooling over a slice of me. Gonna no, I'm gonna entertain that beach. All of the ideas I had was horrific. I was just imagining aliens like basting you and like, oh, no, please. What? Yes, Rubs. I agree, friend. The night terrors are real, yo. They were. Last tea break I took, I had horrible nightmares. This time, just pleasant, wacky dreams. I'm happy to hear that, friend. Shows a bit about your intention and I feel the reason why you're not smoking this time as well. No more demons that you're fighting. Well, at least,
Apparently, it's a very common fucking surgery.
yeah.
Gallbladder removal.
It's common. What do they channel the extra gall that's just into your?
I don't fucking know.
How do you say that?
I just searched that it's a common surgery.
The more we know. I have the 4 small scars and not the one big one from the surgery, since Christian is googling. The more you know. So there's like a big scar which can leave a larger scar, I guess, and then 4 smaller scars which can be a little bit less noticeable, I'm guessing. I still eat poutine and tacos, but I shouldn't. So your liver works harder to process if you eat poutine and tacos, I'm guessing. Does it produce more bile then? Man, I'm tripping out. Oh, that's just one thing, Christian. And there's like your gut system that has like enzymes. Like, you have so many microorganisms in you that 80% of your serotonin is being produced by your microbiome right now. Your gut, the stuff you eat. The reason you're like compulsively eating certain things over another is because your gut is like, I want that thing. You have literal more of the guts that or gut microbiomes that process that food type, so they ask for it. That's what happens, Christian. And you can like train yourself, dude. That's why people get into like toxic feed loops. I think it makes eating fats more difficult. Oh. Oh, if you don't have bile, you can't process fats as easily. Isn't that interesting? It does make sense though, because bile is basically caustic, and you want caustic things to break those fat lipids. My brain. More bile gets released when you eat fatty foods without the gallbladder to regulate it. It continually travels through your digestive tract.
So why would you want to remove your gallbladder then?
It's probably some sort of like issue, dude. I don't know. Imagine you're doing it because you want to.
Issue.
Yeah, maybe it's like defective. Maybe there's a cancerous growth. Maybe it doesn't have proper blood flow. Things happen to human bodies, dude. Thank you, Natalie. Like, if you're willing to tell us, friend, I'm curious. Gallstones. There we go. The more you know. Thank you for letting us know, friend. The dream state totally gives things away. There are answers in dreams. Oh yes, Maxine. Love you, Mel. Love you, Joel. I love you. Oh, I love you so much. Christian needs his coffee. Wakes up at 4 or at like almost 5 p.m. Drinks coffee first thing. Gallstones effing hurt. I can't even start to imagine. And like legit. And it's weirdly enough, and I don't know if this is the right thing to say, but kidney stones slash I guess gallstones as well are eerily beautiful. If you see what they look like on a structural level, have you seen what they look like? Like it's literally crystals forming inside of your body, dude. It's I know it's terrifying,
Please don't.
but it is beautiful.
I feel like if I don't know about these things, my body will never go through it.
I mean,
Because it just can't.
if you
happening.
constantly and ceaselessly think about it from this plane of like, oh, I never want this, I never that I guess is bad, but just hearing about it doesn't bother me too much. Similar pain to right before an appendix burst. I had a friend compare. Okay, I've had that happen close to me. I mean, I had mine removed for the same reason. So yeah, that's no vibe. Feels like you're being stabbed ceaselessly. Just like, oh, the stabbing stops, and then the stabbing starts again. He really deep. He is, feels with depth that I can only fathom. I try to get it more out of him, but he doesn't want to tell me. Love you, Christian. Look at that. Whoa. One, I love you.
Infamous.
Two, I love
song.
you. Three, I love you. Four, I love you. Basically, five, I love you. Six, I love you, Christian.
I love you. Loving back people.
Deep
Love all around. If that. Oh. I don't know anybody's name on this platform except maybe like Jovan and Isaac.
So watch this.
So on YouTube.
Bethany, Maxine, Katie. Love you, friends.
Mr. Boop the Snoot.
Mrs. Boop the Snoot is Bethany.
Mrs. Boop the Snoot.
It's on beat. Oh, great response. Coffee can mold for sure. Yeah, I was fascinated. I didn't know that. Then we have Katie sending love to all you beautifuls. I love you, Katie. I love you, Bethany. Thank you for letting me see you, friend. Love to you. Head for the hills. I love you, friend. I love you. I think we missed someone to love. Maybe a little bit up. Bleach. I love you. And Rubs. There we go. I love you too, friend. Thank you for joining us. Dream traveling. My experience is the ability to enter others' dreams with their permission while remembering everything. If I make myself present in their dreams, they see and remember me. It's a healing, helping tool only to one's highest good. I mean, I feel, doesn't that happen automatically as well, where you travel to people's dreams or you are in people's dreams? Like me and Aiden actually had a chat about this where we were thinking, if someone dreams about you, is that their representation of you in their brain? How you are your representation of yourself in your brain, and then by extension, then technically you? Or is it actually you within the realm of spirit?
Do you hear yourself sometimes?
It fascinates me the question. What is it, Christian? How can they have a picture of you to the point where they can recognize you and then tell you the next day that I had a dream about you?
Yo,
How does your brain do that, dude?
I freak out when people say they've had a dream about me. It's kind of fucking weird.
I find it very flattering. You know, like it's a very intimate thing to dream things, dude. It's in your brain. It's actually in your brain, dude.
Mm-hmm.
So I always find it flattering and beautiful. You know, like I think of it as from the perspective as well of I'm trying to bring good into the world. So if I'm in your dream, I hope I'm bringing good into your dreams as well. As an astral traveling mouse, it sounds almost like that, right? And I love you, Molly. Miss Mouse is Molly. Ah, handsome sleepy. He's beautiful. Sean Connery, the first James Bond amongst dozens and dozens of the other roles.
Fuck yeah, man.
I think I might actually know who it is now. Thank you, Sylvina.
Sean
I love
Connery.
you, Sylvina. It's Molly. I feel the most love you can give to anything is to let their light go and know in your heart they are in a better place. Love to you all. Love to you. Like I feel that's a message just for you, Christian. Hmm? Synchronicities, dude.
I hope they're in a better place.
I'm sure.
I hope they are.
Would you be willing to share hers?
Nah.
Why not though? I want to honor her.
It's okay.
You don't have to know the context, but type in text or just say out loud, "Happy birthday, Violetta." Yeah.
Come on.
Why not, Christian? I'm like, I feel so much for this because I'm like imagining my mom, dude. I saw a picture of your mom today, dude, at your dad's place, and I instantly thought about my mom. Like it's for all of us a call to awareness. Love your mom's friend. I'm crying right now. I've been emotional the whole day, man. Go and say I love you to your mom. Love to you all. Feeling with you, Christian. Natalie Portman will go on an essay wine tour. Gang, come Natalie Portman. Essay wine tours are lit. I had a friend compare. Thank you again, friend, for sharing with us so much. To you, Ingrid, Diana. Is it Diana? I love you. Love you guys. Love you, friend. Thank you. It's called Lupin. It can be terrifying when you first experience it. I have looping dreams on the winter solstice. Very trippy. So you've almost like noticed a pattern at this point. Miss Molly joining us as well. Thank you. Thank you so much, my friend, for the love. Love is true.
Thanks, guys.
Love is true. I lost my mom at age 10. How your mom figures. I've had many surrogate moms since then. My mom is one of Christian's surrogate moms now. She's adopted, I mean, our family has adopted Christian into our household. Like, I feel, you know, my family talks about you more than they talk about most people do.
Stop it.
It's kind of concerning.
I might just have to come live by you.
Like, we can get jealous sometimes. So.
Come on. I told you I'm gonna steal your mom. I'll just replace you slowly.
Just slowly.
Soon enough, all the pictures in the house.
I just replaced the
instead of you.
I just actually like picture spots, dude. So I imagine them like being taken off and your picture being put up there.
That modeling photo. Bro.
Yeah, dude, that one where I'm like
replaced.
Again, normalize. I love you. I love you. Thank you so much, Natalie. So much love to you, Christian. Thank you for the love, Shannon.
Y'all are too kind, man.
Like,
Y'all are too kind.
We have a bunch of moms here right now, Christian. So
Thank
you
you.
love, dude. Shannon, Natalie, not the mom, Marvin, Mariah just joining us. I don't know if Miss Molly is a mom as well, but I wouldn't be surprised. Good morning, friends. Thank you, Mariah, for joining us. So much love to you, friend. Jumpin' Jumanji. It's nice to have you here with me. I love you, friend. Have you hallucinated? Have I hallucinated, Christian?
No.
I mean, I don't actually hallucinate. Not what I consider hallucination, right? What I consider hallucination is seeing things that aren't there.
Yes, most definitely.
I've never seen something that isn't there.
Straight up fall down on his knees, shaking, convulsing.
That was very much there.
To the air.
I was being faced with
Hallucinating.
the all of consciousness in that moment. It was right here in my mind though. It's still there. I see it right now. It's like a little pyramid with like these crosses
Oh my god.
coming out of it, dude. Like big pillars. It is like fractaling down the more I look into them. It doesn't go away, Christian. It's just an acknowledgement of that power. Reddit wants me to see you lately. Thank you for the thoughts, Rex Down. Here you are, friend. I love you. Thank you for joining us. Experience Hendrix. I love you, friend. This whole stream is about normalizing saying I love you. So I'm gonna say it until it's normal to me, or until it loses its scariness.
It's pizzazz.
It's pizzazz. Maybe I should add pizzazz to not lose the pizzazz now. What first inspired you to start the stream? This stream? First inspired you to start the stream, or the original stream? It was this recognition slash realization that the only thing that I feel I'm good at is being kind to people. Like I'm pretty bad at most shit, but I'm pretty good at being kind to people. And I can't expect myself to just go to my friends and sit down with them and be kind to them the whole day, every day. That would be a little bit inconsiderate of me to want to be so kind to you, wouldn't it? But then I was like, how?
Kindness elsewhere, mother.
Yeah, dude, how can I share kindness with loved ones without expectation? And that's how the stream started, right? Vaccine. And we've shown up for love in that way every single day since that day. And that's why I enjoy it. I enjoy it so much. You friends show me love is true, right? Like literally. I go out into the world, I do something, which is this stream, and then I find with resolute truth, love is true. Everything else you believe, sure. And yet you, Sylvina, Jumpin' Jumanji, Maxine, and Rex Dog, and OK Ad, and Platform Maker, and Auntie, and Jovan, and Shannon, and Natalie, Miss Molly, Christian. So much loving beings. How can I not have hope for the future? How can I not? Thank you, friend. Thank you, Maxine, for joining us as well.
Yeah.
The devotion and conscious effort to remind ourselves that we have like minded humans in this crazy world. Thank you for being a steward of love and positivity. Thank you, friend. You wouldn't be able to see me if you weren't that too. So I see you. Thank you for the love, friend. Removal of face mask regulations is a plus and a minus. So we can lip read and judge body language easier, see people's emotions better. And some people have infectious faces with their mood, but then there are the sour faces. Face people like myself. So Vina is just like, I imagine the whole situation where I'm like,
I have a pretty hardcore resting bitch face.
Christian also has resting bitch face, definitely. And for me, it's the opposite, where I compulsively smile at people. And I see myself smiling at you, Sylvina, you just giving me this
I death glare at people at the shop.
snarl. You know?
Stay the fuck away
Don't
from
you
me, bro.
dare show your teeth at me. You
This poor mom, like with their child, bro, like shopping while I come down. The aura of
Yeah,
death.
Dad.
Like, excuse me, sorry. You dare talk to me?
Something sucks the soul right out of her beings. Forced it out.
I'm just a nervous, wretched wreck. That's the truth.
You're so fine, dude.
I'm an anxious person.
I think you
Hide
just
behind a facade of masculinity and testosterone.
I think you worry too much people think about you, dude.
Maybe. Maybe.
People think you're a cool guy, Christian. Hold on to that and just believe that forever. Don't believe anything else. If you're like, what does this person think about me? Just say, he thinks I'm a cool guy. And then you leave. Because what other people think about you is none of your business. That's my favorite story quote, dude. They're just like, what other people think about you?
I just want to exude like the safest sort of aura ever. You know, I want to exude an aura of calm and everything is fine and like safety and happiness. You know, glowy, happy little energy. But I see the look sometimes, bro. They're like, yeah, so this guy is fucking off the hooker, man.
I mean, that's the reality for me as well. It's like word for word almost. But I couldn't be bothered if you don't believe me. That's the thing, right? So I'm gonna try and be the most loving self I can be. And if you want to
I once
believe
had to
me,
stop this guy from walking into the shopping center with a blanket on top of him. Just like blanketed, bro, with his Aladdin pants and his mushroom.
yeah, uncomfortable. This is my body. I get to do things as with my body. There's no rules, Christian. There's no rules that say you can't have a blanket with you in the
Not
shopping
allowed.
mall.
Not allowed to have a blanket with you in the shopping mall.
I can have
Dress like a
blankets in
decent
there.
human being.
I
With a
can
fucking jacket on.
dress like an absolute monkey. I can like show up in a gorilla costume every single day for a week, and I'd still be able to do my job.
Oh.
Okay, enjoy your day, everybody. Thank you, Aunt V. Love to you, friend. You too. I'm fantasizing about a salad and quiet time in a bit. You know you're a mom if you fantasize about having a salad and quiet time. Love you, Aunt V. I hope you get to have that, friend. You deserve it. And so much more. Hope you had an okay time getting potent prodded. I'm sure she did. Do let us know how it went if you're willing to, friend. You're getting pro body. Oh, wow. Oh, how did I miss so many? Whoa. Love you too. I am a mom. Thank you,
No.
Miss Molly. And a grandma, Miss Molly. So many moms. So much love.
Extra mom, bro.
I'm so blessed. My Mara constantly tells me she loves me. She's an angel. Oof. Having your kid constantly tell you that they love you, dude. I can't even imagine. Thank you for sharing just the thought of it, Shannon. I appreciate that so much.
It means you did a good job in some ways.
Oh, sure. I mean, you should see Shannon, dude. Shannon is a very capable person when it comes to her capacity to share love. Lamau, I'm a pro at getting a smile from those people without trying, much like I'm sure Mouth is. I like, you know what I do? And it's something that catches them every single time. When I smile at a person and they refuse to smile back at me, I don't break eye contact. I keep looking at them and I keep smiling at them, and then that breaks their brains.
SDN has like extremely aggressive positivity. It's like, don't make me fucking come over there and hug you, man.
I'll fucking come and hug you.
I'll come over there and hug you,
You
dude.
can hug me. I do the same thing, right? Because they're like, they feel they're not worthy of it, right? And then they snarl at you, and then that is almost like them proclaiming to the universe, I'm not worthy of this. And then you continue to look at them and continue to love them and smile at them and project positivity at them. And then they're like, what the fuck? I just told this person I'm not worthy of this. Why are they still doing that? And it breaks it melts that facade, that barrier between us and believing we're separate, dude. We're not, Christian. Look, oh,
I'm pretty separate.
attached at the leg right now, dude.
I'm like,
I can't tell where I start and you stop.
separate. You see this red leg here, and you see this gray leg here. This is your leg. This is my leg.
You know, you're saying that, but I unironically can feel you touching yourself when you do that. Feel this? Feel this? Like they did? Yeah.
That's cool, bro.
Realm spirit? Yes, realm spirit, friend. The realm of spirits. The spirit. I'm having a hard time enthusiasm far. Thank you for joining us. I love you. I appreciate you joining us. Smooches to Christian. Love to you. Hash lungs. Hello, man. Hope all is well. Hash lungs. It's been a while, friend. I love you. Thank you for joining me, for sharing some time. How have you been? Sending love and hugs to Christian. I feel better. Your outfit is so nice, bro. I believe he's wearing the
I
horizontal
think
lines.
they're talking about you, man.
No, talking about
Pretty sure.
Christian. The horizontal lines. I told Christian that it makes him look extra jacked. Apparently, having horizontal lines makes you look broader. Having vertical lines makes you look skinnier. Do you believe that? Does it make sense to you?
I guess it makes visual hypnosis sense. Does it make me look jacked?
Yeah. Like, look at those horizontal lines, dude.
Thank you. I'm pretty sure they're talking about your outfit, though.
I appreciate it, friend.
The red
It's a gift
scarf and the
gift from
boots.
mom, and also
I told him
gift from
he's
mom.
dressed like a Yakuza mafia boss, except like, you know, in the... I'm not gonna go there before we get cancelled.
In the South African branch.
Yeah, in the South African branch.
Mm.
That's good. That makes more sense.
Got you. We have Bob Bussington joining us again. It's nice to have you, Brother Bear. I love you. Thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful Sunday. Thank you. How the world currently is, do you there more hate that? Whoa. How the world currently is, do you think there is more hate than love?
Uh,
Actually,
no.
no. If you wanna be really realistic about it, right? We can all assume, I mean, we can all know for a fact rather that every single one of us came from a mother. There might be some very limited cases of like CIA experiment lab grown humans, sure, if you want to go there. But let's assume for a second that all of us have mothers. And some of us might not have been, had the fortune to grow up as mothers, but the high percentage of us did. And we all love our mothers very dearly. And maybe we had a father in our lives, which we all could love very dearly. Maybe siblings, which we all could love dearly. And we could have all of these experiences growing up with animals, with friends, with food, with entertainment, which we can all love very dearly. And then we get in an accident, which is very much not a very dearly loved experience, but there was 99.99% of love. And then there was an experience of separation. And then there can still be a choice in love in that, where if you survive that accident, there is love. And I believe even if you don't survive that accident, there will
Yo,
be love.
the war would be. I mean, the world would be a much uglier place if hate was ruling right now.
Yeah.
As terrible as it seems out there, love is winning over hate.
Hate is trying. Hate is like aggressively clawing at its last chance. But the light will illuminate even the shadows. Technically, yes. You can literally have light so bright it illuminates even shadows, dude. Have you seen what light like that looks like? It's kind of terrifying, dude. It's like blinding. It's actually blinding. Like it bounces so much where the shadows literally can't hide. And that's the cool thing about light as well. Weed will be finally legal in about a year in Germany. Thoughts on that? I believe human beings should have autonomy over their own consciousness. Period. And weed is one of those things, that is.
I feel like it shouldn't be as stigmatized as
Mm,
it was in the past. It's a completely normal thing. It's not that bad in any way, shape, or form. So
It's something we've done for thousands of years as humanity. And sure, we've done horrible things with thousands of years of humanity as well, and we can try and justify the same with the same words, but it's about how you use it. I feel,
if you are going to abuse it, you can abuse any substance. Hell, you could be an orange addict.
oh, I'm an
Just
orange
eat
addict.
orange is like a fucking
I'm an,
monster.
I'm an orange addict, Christian. Like, unironically, I think I consumed maybe 44 oranges in like a week and a half at home, dude. I'm not joking. Like, there's something.
What is wrong with you?
I don't know, dude. That unironically, I don't know. I feel like there's something broken in that part of myself that's just like, oh,
Orange.
again. Oh, again.
Straight up, this is
So the orange is
fucking
done. Yeah.
Yeah, that-
There's more oranges. So again. And I have a hard time, and I have to be conscious. Dude, and it's one of the things that has led me to living more consciously as well.
I feel like I'm that way. What happens to your body if you eat that many oranges?
I get a
You
little.
just start glowing orange
Mm-mm.
at some point.
I mean, you probably would
The
if
hue
you
of your
do it for
skin is probably a
like
shade
months.
or two more orange.
I I gain weight rapidly. That definitely
Really?
happens.
From
Yeah,
fruit.
yeah, very very quickly. But I also feel great. So I like it's not a body tax thing. I like it's. I mean, maybe it's
But
just
there's
the
gotta be
dopamine.
some sort of fucking repercussions for eating that much sucrose.
I think so. Yes, but then I genuinely believe, and this might be faulty, that fasting can be like a little bit of a band-aid on any damage that could be done. Because you're like the damage that you would do would be to your pancreas and your ability to release insulin reliably. And then fasting is literally your body releases no insulin naturally, at least not from food sources. So your base level completely resets. You eat a little bit, you release insulin, that food gets absorbed.
Hackers, my dude.
Straight hackers. So Thank you, Christian, for your input. I did the same thing to some people. Have a great day, Mom. I think I missed a few comments again. Okay, there we go. I'm so happy to hear that. Would be a good intentional travel partners, international travel partners. Where would you go first? Is the question. I do the same thing. Some people get more sour face, and then I have to say hello. Hey, yeah, I see you. I'm looking at you intentionally. Looks away even harder. Christian is a cool guy. He is, right? You see that? You see that? Christian is a cool guy.
You're a cool guy,
It's a
infamous
it's
sock
a girl.
8677.
It's whams.
You're a cool wham.
You're a cool wham. Infamous
You're a
sock.
cool wham and infamous
Thank
sock.
you, Fred. See, now you can believe that about yourself forever and ever.
Such a strange username, by the way.
Infamous sock. Yeah, I also consider
The
it
infamous sock.
the infamous sock.
It's that one you find in the corner of your room after you've packed the entire house out. And like, that's where you've been, you motherfucker.
You've hid this whole time. I told people that you were lost. we celebrated you. We held a funeral, and now you show up, drunk, in a corner somewhere,
Dirty.
dirty. Oh. Aggressive positivity. Wow. I don't think it's that aggressive.
It's pretty aggressive.
It's not that aggressive, dude.
Pretty freaking aggressive.
I mean, I don't
Mine
walk
is
up to
also very
people.
aggressive.
I don't walk up to people. I don't walk up to people. People, I infinity. Love.
Infinity is real. The light will save us.
No. Actually, no, Christian. But I don't assault. I don't.
Bro, you practically assault.
I don't-
like spiritually assault.
I don't invade personal space. I
Yo.
just move through space, and then I happen to see people.
It's like those church boys with pamphlets. Have you heard of our church? You would really love our church. Our church would be so great for you. Like it's all about like the youth and coming in with the modern times and expecting and it's accepting like modern morals, all of that stuff. And it's all nice and we have Sabbath together and shit. I'm like, dude, I'm not going. Please stop walking with me. You keep fucking walking, bro. People sell shit so hard sometimes, man. I need to get pepper spray. I feel like that will. I need to give off like a pepper spray type. So
pepper
like,
spray.
yeah, so like I have to do it once so that I know that I'm capable of doing it, and that way my aura looks like, and it shows that I have done it, so that other people are like, nah, I don't want to approach this dude. He was getting pepper spraying me.
Talking about auras, did you know that you
Personal
literally
space.
change the way you walk if you have a gun on you?
Really?
To the point where it can be recognized with AI. Yeah. You change the way you walk if you have a firearm. And I think it's the same aura thing, dude.
I think it's because you're paying more conscious attention to the way you're walking with a firearm.
That, but it's also belief, right? Like instead of just being human, now you're human plus
Human,
killing machine.
alpha human.
Killing machine human.
Human plus pew pew stick.
Boomstick, dude.
Can end an entire existence with just a pull of your finger, bro.
Yeah, and you can also convince yourself that you can defend your existence with a pull of a finger.
So horrifying.
Same thing. Vitamin C and tons of other nutrients would make you feel good from eating oranges. That is true. I even ate the skins on some of them. But that's only because it's novelty. Let me say that. Yes, it's novelty. It's
He
like
eats kiwis with the skin on.
you did it as well, Malcolm.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I'm a civilized human.
I watched you do it. Liar. Liar.
I did not.
It wasn't that bad.
I
Okay,
did not eat the
that
kiwis.
kiwi that you ate not with the skin on. How was it, Christian?
You. Not as good, eh? I'm not gonna lie. For some reason, eating kiwi with the skin is just better.
It's better
Yeah.
with the skin.
Mm.
You actually like that?
Yeah. Quite a lot.
It's texture, right? To me, that's the thing that really made it great. It's just the texture. I used to eat peanuts with the shells. That's sicker mode, right there.
That's straight up like so bad for your stomach.
I don't know if
It's really
it would be fiber. It would be fiber.
fiber, my bro.
Yeah.
Aren't like peanut shells extremely hard?
Mm, the thing that
It's
I'm
like sunflower seeds, sure.
I think we're I'm thinking too much about this. Oh, I mean, for me, I eat pineapple with the skin. I eat kiwis with the skin, and mangoes with the skin. But that's the only three fruits that I've transitioned from not eating the skin to eating the skin.
Oh, okay. No, I know which peanuts they're talking about. It's those
And we eat
the
peanut
softer
shells.
peanuts. It's like the ones that you can break apart.
Yeah. What are you thinking about?
I think that feels so dusty. Why would you do that? Ugh. Just straight up eat the whole fucking thing.
It's a type of lagoon, you know, like that's the thing that goes into the ground. It would be, I mean, it would kind of be dusty, but it would also
I
be
feel like it would
earthy.
be so dry, bro.
You drink some water. Good foliage. Yeah, I think so as well. Thank you, Aunt B. Positivity, you're so sweet, friend. Still a little sore and anxious to get results, and my surgeon can tell me everything's perfect. And I stressed for no reason. I already feel it. It's already true. Thank you, Auntie. Still smiling for you and your family. I stuff my little 380 under a fold and forget it's there. 380 is a gun, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. True about auras and guns. Yeah, it's weird, huh? I like what like that's a really interesting thing to me. You know, to the point where artificial intelligence can spot your aura if you're carrying a firearm. Kiwi skins are healthy AF. Yes, Maxi. All of the skins are healthy AF. We just don't eat them for some reason.
Would you eat a banana skin?
I tried, but it's not lekker. It's
Oh,
like it's not flavorful, and the texture is horrific.
That is truly funny.
The pineapple skins are rough, but actually so good, dude. The mango skins are fantastic. Like I would eat mango skins just like that, dude. That's how good they are to me. I tried with the oranges and the narchis as well. It's a little bit too pungent. Maybe in part I can eat them. What else? Pears, of course. Apples, of course. Figs, surely. There are so many fruits. All of the berries you eat with the skin, of course. Like, one of the things that fascinate me is to imagine fruits on other planets. Or, and we had a conversation about this the other day, being able to give a fruit to an alien, right? Like a sugar processing alien, just like we are glucose eating alien, to give it an apple or to give it a mango or to give it a pineapple, a banana, and to see it experiencing a fruit from our planet for the first time would be such a trip. And we eat some peanut shells. Boiled peanuts are moist and soft, but roasted are dusty and crunchy. So do you roast the shells then as well, or boil the shells then as well? And then Emma or Yushan, do you eat the shells after they have been roasted or boiled? I can imagine myself maybe eating the shells if they've been roasted. Natalie, say my friend, I want to point out how much more hope my heart has after your show up every day. Natalie, thank you. Thank you so much. It's the same for me, right? Like it genuinely is almost mm, an experience of trust that I put out into the universe, right? Like, again, I would just be speaking into the infinity, right? Making noise. If it wasn't for you friends being here with me to make meaning out of noise. So the fact that you're here gives me hope, Natalie. And the fact that this gives you hope, and every single one, just if one of you friends show up for me, this would have been worth it. And the fact that, oh goodness, I hope it trips you out that there are other friends here as well. Does it trip you out, Christian? It trips me out, dude. Like, it actually trips me out. We just had a friend, Natalie, say that I want to point out how much more hope my heart has after you show up every day. Dude, showing up for one another. And it gives me hope that one other person is willing to show up for that. And then not just one person shows up for that. And I hope it gives you friends hope as well to see each other in this space. Like the fact that you know, acknowledge one another, like the way that Shannon says hi to every single friend that shows up with us. Thank you for that, friend. It means so much. I was a weird kid. At least say my friend roasted. Okay, I could never get into boiled peanuts. I had a bit of boiled peanuts in China, and I could eat them, but I would never order them for myself. So yeah, I guess that is enough. But actually, I've always wondered if aliens enjoy the music humans create. Do they feel joy? And when they hear it, do they have a favorite band or sounds? I feel a lot of music, especially lyrical music, has connotation to the human experience. But then I think about stuff like psytrance, and I feel in ways that experience, that music, could be seen outside of the human experience. It still has elements of like heartbeats, you know, rhythm and that. Like imagining us throughout our entire existence having rhythm. Literally our mother's heart and circular system, you know, pumping energy into our being as we're being brought into this universe. And then music being able to give us those same waves and we get to flow with those waves. Oh goodness. And then imagining alien species, if they have any vibration, if they have the ability to hear, you know, detect the vibration of molecules in the air, and they had similar spawning, if that is the right word to say. Like I don't want to assume how they got born into this world. Like, however they got birthed, if there was some sort of cyclical structure, if they have a heart, for example, if they have a heart, I think they might be able to enjoy music as well. Even though music is something that's very much interpreted by the brain, your heart can sync up to the beat of music. So I feel there has to be some sort of heart energy included there. What do you think, Maxine? Love you too. I love you, Bonnie McMurray. Thank you for joining me, friend. So much love to you. Do they hear sound or just feel the vibration and see our light? Good questions as well, Miss Molly. If they can feel vibration, if they can feel oscillation in the same way that we can feel vibration and oscillation in our heartbeats or our breath, I think there could be a resonance there. And also, when they see humans physically react to music and dance, do they think we are strange or insane? I would, if I couldn't hear and I couldn't detect frequency, I would imagine that species insane or manipulated, enchanted, enthralled, tranced, uh, like almost like it's being controlled. Like some sort of, you know, like we have these fungal type of bodies that literally take over the nervous system of an ant and then walks it high up into the ceiling of the tree forest and then bites onto a stick or a leaf and then releases spores into the earth and starting the whole cycle over again. And that behavior is almost like seen as something that is like eerily outside of the control of the organism that it's experiencing. And technically, music can be seen as that. And it's very much in my control if I dance or not. But I will have a harder time dancing if not for the music. And the music can make me want to dance, right? In the same way that maybe that fungus makes the ant want to walk to the tippy top of the canopy. It's a trip. It's a real trip. So maybe they would think they're very strange. Oh, what a cool topic to consider. Maybe we'll do a whole stream about it one day. Thank you, Maxine, for suggesting such a cool question. Would the aliens enjoy our music? Kind of like brings back the Rick and Morty episode as well, right? Show me what you got. Ooh, but I didn't consider it from this perspective of why why we enjoy music. What is it about music we enjoy? And that every planet has music. I think that might be something unanimous. Maybe that's the one thing all of existence, or at least all of intelligent species, might have in common is the fact that we would make music. Maybe that's a distinguishing feature. Are they more like us than we know? There we go, Miss Molly. I think you might have connected that point before me, but that's the point that I came to as well. Maybe they are more like us than we know. Maybe they make music in the same way for the same reasons. I must go, but remember, I love you. And I feel I can say that as well to you in this moment. Thank you, friends, for sharing a moment with me, for letting me love you. Thank you for letting me love you. I appreciate it so much. This moment, this experience that we get to share with one another. Keep showing up. We don't have to show up here. That's the message of this space, right? I keep showing up because I believe in showing up for ourselves, for love, for what we can do for one another when we love one another. It's Molly. I love you. Bye bye. Bob Bussin. I love you, friend. Wax tail. Love you, God. Thank you, friends. I'll see you again very soon. Cheers, cheers. Have a beautiful day, everyone. I hope you all dearly love you, Shannon. So much love to you, Fred. Thank you. Thank you again. I love you. So like, I almost don't want to close the stream off. I want to read you a card first. Ah, that's why. The power is gonna go off in like 20 minutes. So the sangha that we usually would do is not going to be live. I'm just going to ask about a card. Emissaries of love. Emissaries of love. This is one of my favorite cards. You want to hear what's about? 37 is the number of new children. Sensitive new children with uncommon abilities are entering the world. They are being called various things: psychic children, crystal children, and millennium children, to name a few terms in use. There are distinctions among them, yet it is apparent that they are all intuitive, creative, deeply aware, spiritually awakened, multisensory human beings who carry with them a message of universal love. Their unique capabilities, the connection they have voiced with dolphins and whales, and their ability to use planetary energy grids to communicate with each other infuse this card. You are invited to look to the future with optimism and hope. It is heartening to know that children are being born who embody the vibrations of peace, integrity, and genuine love. How may you better support the message they offer? How may you follow their example and become yourself an emissary of love? By shifting your attention from fear to love in each moment, you too will become part of the evolution of consciousness that these children personify. You have the ability to contribute to a future of love for yourself and all beings. See and feel it as already here. Technically, we drew this card upside down, so this is the reverse that goes, your abilities or those of your children are misunderstood. Remember to be sensitive to the emotional comfort and security of all beings, especially the children born in this time of planetary transformation. Hmm. Yeah. that one is that one is even trippier to read, knowing I'm not reading it to myself. Emissaries of love. I sometimes don't even know if it's me doing anything. Surely it's me I think of, right, doing it, but me that I think of doesn't know enough. Can't possibly know enough. We're being supported. You friends, you are the support. Thank you. Thank you so much. I love you, friends. I'll see you again very soon.